to the Tracy Williams Show. Woohoo! Today we are at First Liberty National Bank right here in Liberty, Texas. This is their home branch, the #1 branch, and we will be talking to several people today, talking to the bank president, Kelly Stretcher. We'll be learning the behind the scenes and seeing some of their employees do their job. So get ready. Let's get ready for the Tracy Williams Show.
Have the great Charles Wiggins with us, and he is the Chairman Emeritus of First Liberty National Bank, right?
That's right, correct, yes.
Okay. Well, I am so glad you joined me because I do want to get a little bit of the history of the bank. And so what can you tell us? When was the bank founded and how did it come about?
Well, the tradition is, the story is that a gentleman was here in Liberty in 1913 and went to the only bank in town and asked for a loan, and the conditions that they wanted to give him the money was unsatisfactory. So he left that facility and walking down the sidewalk over here, encountered maybe Mr. Revere, Bert Revere, or some prominent person in Liberty, and said how he felt mistreated by the bank. And so they said, why don't we just start our own bank? So in 1913, they applied for a state charter. So originally, the bank was chartered in a state. So its first Liberty State Bank, I think, was the original title. Then in 1925, they decided to go with a national charter. It was name and a title for the bank, yes. 1913 and then 1925. So I joined the bank in '89 and became a part of the thing. I'd always admired First Liberty National. And in fact, early in my borrowing career, I made a car loan with Milton Sykes, who was really, he was totally identified with the bank in those years, and just a really fine person, a real avid golfer too, loved to talk golf, and, but he was such a nice gentleman, and he let me borrow the money to buy a new car.
Right. That's good. And so I know that they've actually changed locations of the bank. It used to be, tell us about that, like where it used to be. And
yeah, the bank's had 3 locations. One is where Tarver Abstract is now. In fact, First Liberty National put up that building in 1931, but it originally started in a little small storefront just next door to that. I don't know what's in there now, maybe a law firm's in there now, a little small building. And they bought the corner and put up that building, and the same architect designed that building that designed the courthouse.
Wow.
It was built about the same time. The courthouse was opened, I believe, 1930, and the bank moved into the new building in 31. And they occupied that building for 30 years until 61, and then built this building that, of course, we're in an annex to that building now, but the original building was occupied in 61, and we're still there. And now we occupy this whole block, taking up the space we've grown with Liberty as Liberty's grown. And
yes.
And it's been a good move. I've totally enjoyed the time I've been here. I was real active up till about 10 years ago, and then wanted more time to pursue other things, and so I retired from chairman of the board. And Charles McGuire is now the chairman, and of course I'm emeritus, which means you're retired, so move over and get out of our way.
Well, I'm sure that they are very thankful for all those years that you helped them on that.
Well, it was just a real joy. I worked very closely with Paul Henry over those years, and it was just a real joy. He and I just worked together. Of course, I've known Paul since he was a little child.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but he and I worked really closely together. But there were 3 major people when I came in '89 that were with the bank. One was Miss Margaret Pugh, and the other was Bucky Buchanan. Bucky was president of the bank at that time, and Paul was what was his title? Executive Vice President, I think was his title. But those three people were really the core of the bank at that time through those years. And then, as I say, I came in '89. Well, the bank had gone through some stress through the '80s. When you remember, if you recall, the price of petroleum had gone, I think, about $10 a barrel, and it just really wreaked havoc on the economy here, since we're still, as we are today, still highly dependent on the petroleum business. And that was a tough period through there, but the bank came through it well, and I give full credit to those three people, along with a great staff. It was their good fortune to have lots of excellent employees. As we are today, we got a good crew, good people working for the bank. And that's been pretty much my experience through my business and everything else, with the people that were working with me.
Right.
The goals of prior to that, I was in retail grocery business, food business, and I had good people working for me then. And when I came with the bank, I discovered some good people here. So
Wow.
it's just been a real enjoyable experience.
Yeah, they do have fantastic people here. It's great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to come over and give us a little bit of the background of the bank. And thank you for being on the Tracy Williams Show.
It was my privilege and honor to be asked to do this. And I'm proud of my association with this institution.
Yes, it's a great bank. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I am here with the one and the only Kelly Stretcher from First Liberty National Bank. He is the president of this bank, and I am so glad you stopped and took the time to even meet with us with the Tracy Williams Show.
Oh, I consider it an honor to be on the Tracy Williams Show.
You should. This is our first year, and you are in one of our inaugural sessions here.
It's awesome. I enjoy it. It's a great show.
Thank you, thank you. We enjoy it. And so, how long have you been here at the bank?
I came to the bank in February of '16 and been here ever since. And we live here in Liberty, and we really enjoy it.
That's great. That's great. And then prior to you coming here, you were at several other banks, right?
Well, not several.
A few banks, I should say.
I started my career in 1986 at the bottom. I've worked in nearly every position within the bank. So I spent 18 years in Mount Vernon, Texas. And I left Mount Vernon, went to the bank in Gilmer, Texas. I worked there for 12 years. I was the president and CEO for 11. And in 2016, we moved to Liberty, and we really enjoy it.
We are so glad you're here. And the way I met Kelly, we are both in Rotary together here in Liberty, and I was the Rotary president, and then he became Rotary president right after me, had to clean up all my messes.
Oh, no.
And so we are so glad that you did that. You were really a really great president. I loved your decision making. I loved your guidance. It was, to me, that was the best part.
Well, you set the example.
Oh, thank you.
So we enjoy Rotary, and Rotary's a good civic organization and does a lot of good for the community.
Yeah,
sure does.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And a great way to meet people. So if you ever want to be in the Rotary Club, just let us know.
That's right.
So what I've noticed since you became president here is that we've had a lot of growth in the bank.
We have.
Right? So tell us about how many branches you started with and kind of what's happened since.
Well, when we came in 2016, we had 2 locations, Liberty and Dayton. And in 2017, we added 2 new locations. We added a location in Hardin and a location in Huffman. And then in 2019, we added China, Texas, and Miss Whitney Weatherford runs our China location. And then we have a loan production office in the Mont Bellevue community, and we are we've purchased property. We'll be constructing a new branch there very soon, and we're looking over in the Cleveland, Splendora area as well.
That's just phenomenal growth in that short a period of time.
It is. We've got a great group of team members that we work with. Our board is very experienced.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of wisdom and knowledge that they share with us, and but our employees are, as we like to think, are really what make the difference. And we've brought some new people in. We've had some turnover, but that's because we've brought some people in.
Mm-hmm.
The bank is about 25% larger today than it was 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we've experienced quite a bit of growth.
That's really good.
We're proud of it, and we don't think, and it's our intention not to lose the hometown feeling.
Well, that was my next question.
Yeah.
To me, First Liberty National Bank, it seems like it's a small town bank, but it's a big time bank. A big time small town bank, to me.
Right.
What do you?
We have worked really hard in the area of technology
Mm-hmm.
to upgrade we call it the customer experience.
Mm-hmm.
We've installed 14 ITMs, and an ITM is an interactive teller machine.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to the teller line, you can push a button and someone will come up on the screen and they'll wait on you. They can do anything you want, or you can just use the ATM to make a deposit or withdraw cash. That's one thing that it kind of puts us out in the forefront. That's really, we think we can give a consistent,
Mm-hmm.
a consistent experience for our customers, because we have about 7 or 8 ladies and gentlemen who help the customers or assist the customers, and I mean they're getting the same repetition,
Mm-hmm.
and that's good. We've invested we have a new website. In April of next year, we're changing our data processing and our digital banking, which is your cell phone app, and we will be on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for a small community bank to compete with larger
Mm-hmm.
mega banks,
Mm-hmm.
but we've been able to get with a company that will be able to deliver an incredible experience, and we're really proud of that. And our employees are out in the community. They're in Rotary, they're in Lions, they're help at the schools.
Been chairman of the chamber.
Yes, numerous times.
Yes.
Ambassadors for the chamber.
You've had city council people.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Miss Diane Huddleston, been on the board for a long time. Mr. McGuire, Charles McGuire, who's our board chairman. Paul Henry, who
Mm-hmm.
is a legend here.
Yes.
He was on the city council and mayor, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, and many years before, and that's the good thing about our bank, is that we're not one and done.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of history
Mm-hmm.
that is legendary. The bank got started years ago
Mm-hmm.
by a gentleman who had a bad experience at another financial institution,
Mm-hmm.
and so he just thought he'd start his own bank, and he did a good
That's
job.
some gumption, isn't it?
That's it. That's right. That's right. But yeah, technology for us is important. We have to deliver a product that a consumer wants and needs, and we think we're doing it. Something that most banks or businesses do not offer
Mm-hmm.
are 24-hour customer service. And a few months ago, probably about 3 months ago, we started a trial run And you can pick up the phone and call the bank 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and someone's going to answer the phone. That's
pretty big for a community bank.
Yeah. So we're having about 100 calls a week after normal banking hours. And so if your debit card's messed up, if you need to do something, you need some help, your debit card's not working and you need to use it,
Right.
you can get somebody on the phone.
That's wonderful.
You know what? It really is, because when you need help, you need it.
You really do. And we're talking about people's money.
That's right.
And so when they need the money, they need the money.
They need it. Show me the money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. Well, good. And then your wife also works at the bank, right?
She does. My wife is Patty. She is in charge of our mortgage company, and we do somewhere close to 200 mortgage loans a year, and they've done a phenomenal job. She went to work for the bank in 2017, and we're now we can offer fixed rate home loans for 30 years. We can do anything you want.
Yeah.
I mean, our bank is, we have an insurance agency, we have a trust department, we have a mortgage company, you get a car loan, boat loan. You can get a $6 million or $10 million line of credit with us.
Yeah.
And
So really you're instrumental in small businesses here in the community too because of that.
small business lending is it's the backbone of our bank, and it's the backbone of our community. You know, when this PPP program came out, I can't tell you how many loans we processed for people who were not our customers, who couldn't get the big banks to help them.
Right.
Couldn't even return their phone call.
Right.
Would not return their phone call. And so we helped our customers first, and then we helped those customers.
Right.
Or those potential customers.
Right.
And we've picked up a lot of new business because, I don't want to name names, but because they just couldn't get anybody to call them back.
Right.
And
I think some of these other banks maybe prioritize some bigger fish instead of the smaller.
Yeah, we helped somebody get as little as $600.
Right.
But that was important to them.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's important to the employees working for those.
Sure.
It all trickles. I mean, that is a great thing that you did with the PPP loans.
Our lenders and loan assistants, they worked Saturdays, Sundays, as late as 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, as early as 3 or 4 o'clock. I mean, they were almost working 24 hours a day, and they had to get it done.
Get it done.
Yeah. So we're real proud of the work that we do within the business community.
Okay, this brings up a burning question.
All right.
Okay, I asked people at my office, what do you want to know from First Liberty National Bank? And they want to know, why is there a coin shortage in the United States right now?
Well,
If you know, I don't know.
I do. You know, when we had some of the riots and things that we had in the different parts of the United States, some of the mints were closed and were not able to operate. And then that was part of it.
Yeah.
And the other part is there's not as much commerce going on right now. And so people aren't coming to the banks and bringing their coins to the banks. It's just amazing how
Everything's connected.
everything
and
is
you
connected.
don't think about it until it happens.
So, I mean, it's that shallow, but there is a coin shortage.
Yeah.
We have had to call some of our customers and ask them, you know, we have customers who have car washes, laundry mats.
Right.
We've had to ask them to bring their coins, and we're rolling them.
Yeah.
so our customers can have them. The Fed has us limited to like 2 boxes of quarters every week. So that's not enough for us to operate.
Yeah.
So we're having to do some alternative banking.
Do you need your customers to bring their coins in? I don't want to have a charge here, but
Sure,
if you want people,
sure.
we can tell them.
I tell you, quarters would be nice.
Okay.
We could use some quarters.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we'll be happy to roll them.
Okay, nice.
Until this goes
over.
away, yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be great.
Okay.
So if we could have some quarters, we'd appreciate it.
Any other help you need from the community? Now's your time.
Well, I guess we want to help the community. We're working on a project right now that until today it's really not known, but we're working with a builder and we're working with a developer, maybe for some, I would say some starter type homes. And we're working with that, and there's a need for that.
There is a big need for housing here in Liberty. That I'm really excited to hear that from you.
Right. So we hope that it'll work out.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to talk to us. I'm just so happy we talked.
Oh, Tracy, I mean, we appreciate what you do for the community and your business does for the community. Of course, I'm not a real good talker, but I tell you, Liberty and Liberty County, we're really blessed to live where we do.
We are.
Because, you know, I grew up, I went to high school, I graduated with 10 in my high school class. We were a Class A high school. I mean, smallest of the small.
That is small.
Grew up on a farm. You know, we have a rural environment here. You know, it's just, we're home.
Yes.
And, you know, you see somebody that, I'm not telling people to do this, but, you know, if somebody has a flat tire on the side of the road and they look like they're struggling, you know, you pull off and you help them.
That's right.
And, but this big city stuff, that we're not that. We're just everyday people, and, you know, you see the mayor walking across, you see the county judge walking across.
I love how people love people here.
That's right.
People come in my office too, and it's family. And
A lot of respect.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live. So if anybody wants to move to Liberty, Texas, he's about to have some housing, hopefully.
We're here to help.
Yes. All right. So I hear that you've got some big news about Paul Henry and Ed Pickett.
We do.
Tell me.
The Texas Bankers Association has recognized Mr. Paul Henry and Mr. Ed Pickett for 50 years of service to banking.
Wow.
They have been associated with our bank for 50 years.
Wow.
And Mr. Pickett is known throughout banking for his legal work. Mr. Henry is known, highly respected. You know, we have big bank ability, but we have that small bank agility, and that's what we think sets us off. We have people who've had experience. We have modern infrastructure. We have technology. We try to have good customer service and a good experience. And you know, it's hard to make everything work all the time.
Right.
But you know, if we know that something's broken, we want to try to fix it.
Exactly.
So we like to say that, you know, we do have big bankability. And you know, you can pick up your cell phone and get right on it and chat with somebody.
Right.
And we've got the small bankability. So when we see you at church or we see you at the Little League Park and you say, hey, I'm having a problem, well, we can go back up to the bank next day and try to get it fixed.
That's great. And
Thanks,
we appreciate everything First Liberty National Bank does for all of these communities.
Thank you, Tracy.
All
Appreciate
right. Thank you.
it. Uh-huh.
Okay, I am now here with April Lunsford at First Liberty National Bank. Hi, April. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Tell us a little about yourself and about your role here at the bank.
Well, I've been with First Liberty National Bank for 35 and a half years. I'm over the call center. I'm call center manager, and I'm assistant vice president in operations.
Okay, so you mentioned something there, call center.
Yes.
That's something I haven't heard from the bank here. Tell us about
Yes.
that. Is that something new?
Well, the call center itself, no, we've had the call center open for several years. We do have a new after-hour service now. It's 24/7, and a customer can call at any time of the day or night and call our main number and get someone on the phone, and we can assist them with all their needs as if the bank were even open. Our main phone calls are basically and typically has to do with their online banking or password resets or issues with their debit cards. We can handle all of those after hours now.
Wow. So
Yes.
I can be sitting in my bed at 3 in the morning and go, wow, I need to do something with my ATM card. I think
Yes.
I'll call First Liberty National Bank, and I can actually do that.
Yes, ma'am. We can also take care of transfers. We can do balances. Whatever your needs are, we can take care of them.
Wow. And so how many people you got working at 3 in the morning?
Well, we only have one person on call a week. We rotate, and then I stay available for everybody in case they need some sort of backup assistance. So we've got 5 people involved. So every 5 weeks, somebody is, it's a different person.
Right.
And then again, I try to stay available 24/7 for everybody. So if they can't help the customer, I'll be glad to help them.
Well, good. That's really awesome service. for
Yes,
the bank.
ma'am.
I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
There's probably not many banks around here that do that.
No, I don't believe there are any at all, actually. To get a live person,
Yeah.
it's not automated. It's actually a live person that's going to assist our customers.
And they're actually an employee of the bank.
Yes,
not
ma'am.
some call center in some other country. Or
No,
anything.
ma'am.
They're right here.
They're right here. Yes,
Working for
ma'am.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, great. Thank you so much for telling us all about that new service.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here I am at the world famous First Liberty National Bank at their ITM machines. And that's the interactive telling machines. So let's see. I think what you do is you just come up here and you just push the button to talk to somebody. And then we're going to select English. And let's see who pops up.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Kate. Remember me? I'm Tracy with the Tracy
Yes.
Williams Show. Okay, we're so glad to talk to you today. And I have a few questions, and I'm probably just going to ask each person a question. So the first thing is, what is an interactive teller machine?
An interactive teller machine is very similar to an ATM, but it's also a teller interacted with it. So we can do almost everything you can do on the teller line, just through a machine, basically. So you are video chatting with a teller and doing, deposits or withdrawals. We can cash checks, and we can actually give you change back. You can do everything that you can do through the teller line, basically, just more efficiently and a little safer.
All right, well, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Vivian. Hi. So tell us, how does a person even use one of these machines? How does the public come and use it?
So anyone that wants to come use the ITMs, all they have to do is just walk up to the machine, and if they want to use it through a teller, they would just tap on the screen, and a teller would answer the call and pop up on the screen and assist them with the transaction. And if they want to use it through the ATM side, they would just insert the card in and then follow the prompts on the screen.
Okay, so this machine that I'm looking at here, I'm in your lobby. Is it the same kind of setup in the drive-through areas?
It is. They are all the same. They all carry teller and ATM capabilities.
All right, well, thank you, Vivian. There we go. Hi, Maddie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Can you tell us what locations do you guys serve? Now, you guys are sitting in a room here in Liberty, and
Yes, ma'am.
where are all these ITMs located?
So we have 5 locations. We're in a building next to the Liberty location, but we service all the ITMs, which we have at Liberty, Huffman, China, Hardin, Dayton. They all except for Hardin, have more than two machines, so that way you can help more people, multiple people at a time.
All right. Well, thank you.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Mary Bell. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
We're doing great. Okay, so I have a question. So when I go to the ATM, it seems like I'm only getting $20 bills out. So when I use an ITM machine, can I get different denominations of bills?
Yes, ma'am. With the ATM and the ITM, we have the denominations of $100 bills, 25s, and 1s. We also have quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies. But if you use the ATM portion, when you're typing in the amount, there is a button that says Set Bill Mix, and you click on it, and you can let the ATM know which denominations you want it to give you the cash back. With the ITM portion, you just let us know how you want your cash back, and we'll send it out to you that way.
All right. Well, thank you. It's good.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Perla. How's it going?
Good.
Great. Okay, so I have a question. So are people able to get help if they speak Spanish?
Yes, ma'am. So whenever you come up to the ITM, if you need Spanish, you tap on the screen, and there is an option that pops up right away to select either English or Spanish, and all the Spanish calls get transferred to me and another coworker that speaks Spanish, so we're able to help you right away if we're able to.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's great service. Brianna, how are you?
Hi.
I have a question. So what hours are the ITMs available to talk to somebody?
So the banking hours are, Monday through Friday is from 7 to 6, and then on Saturdays is just from 8 to 12.
Okay. Well, great. It's so good talking to all of you. You guys.
Yes, ma'am.
What I really love about this is you guys are all happy, smiling faces when we push this button and you guys come on, and we really appreciate everything that you do for our community.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we are in the back office of First Liberty National Bank. This is where all the magic happens, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, so you guys probably saw Kate in the other video, and this is Kate. She's the supervisor over the interactive teller machines. And so I wanted her to tell us about her workspace, about how this all works in the background. Go ahead.
All right. Well, these are our teller prompters. This is where all the magic happens, where we do all of our transactions. So this is our main monitor. It actually has two parts to it. So this is our actual screen that we have, and this is where we see everything because it's reflected here. This is actually a glass screen, and our monitor is on the bottom. So we are actually looking at you at the video camera, which is behind this. Let me turn it to the side so you can see. Our video camera is here behind everything. So we keep this down so we can actually see through it. And so it looks like we're looking at you, and we can see our screen at the same time. We can do all the transactions. We can see your little face on our screen. And then we have a second screen that we actually have all your information, where we look up all your accounts, anything that you need from us. We can actually pull on any of our screens. If we look back and forth, if you see us kind of like looking at you, we talk to you, and then we look back at our other screen. That's why you kind of see us kind of looking back and forth and talking to you. So that's how all of our little magic back here happens, is on these little screens here. We have different lighting. We have overhead lights, and we have our little ring lights here to kind of brighten us up so you can see us. So that's kind of how all of this side works.
All right. Well, thanks, Kate.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for that behind the scenes interview.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.